And the city of Austin and the slew of taxes that are coming down the pike. We'll also be joined by Gigi Bowman. She is the founder of libertycandidates.org. That's a nationwide effort to elect liberty-minded individuals to offices, local, state, national, all across the board. And they've secured some victories and promoted a whole lot of solid candidates in their time. And then we're going to be joined by Ian Freeman. He's out of New Hampshire, and we're going to be chatting about jury nullification and a recent victory that's came out of New Hampshire where a jury nullified a felony marijuana case. Yes, that's right. The jury not only judged the facts of the law, but they also judged the merit of the law, which every jury has the power to do. And they found that this 59-year-old Rastafarian man should not be thrown in a cage, have his freedom taken away for simply ingesting a medicinal herb. We're going to be chatting with Ian Freeman about that. He's also actively involved in the Free State Project, the Shire Society, and has a radio show called Free Talk Live that's very popular all across the country. We're going to chat with him about some of that stuff as well. But first, we're going to do some local news. I'm just going to ramble off some headlines here, and then we're going to be going to our correspondent, Clay Dafoe, who's got a piece about the recent UT bomb scare. He's got some insights on that front and some interviews as well with some local movers and shakers and some students. But let's rattle some local headlines here. Travis County's no-bid contracts routinely renewed. Some say formal review policy needed. Travis County routinely exempts contracts from the bidding process, more than $15 million worth so far this year for a variety of professional services, including construction-related work, court transcription services, and counseling for troubled teens. Such deals, which account for more than half of all the county's professional service contracts, are legal because the county has the authority to skirt the bidding process for necessary and specialized services or services that require close knowledge of county workings. Some San Marcos news for those of you that might be tuning in there in San Marcos on 100.1 FM. San Marcos touts ranking among least expensive cities. City officials are boasting about the city's recent ranking in the cost of living index as the 10th least expensive city in the country. Among 300 urban areas that participated in the second quarter index produced by the Virginia-based Council for Community and Economic Research, San Marcos was among 4 Texas cities and 3 Oklahoma cities to fall in the 10 least expensive urban areas. Harlingen was the least expensive urban area, Wichita Falls the second least, and McAllen the third, according to the council. Imagine some of these least expensive places to live may not be the nicest places, but you can't say that about San Marcos because it is a beautiful little city with a vibrant local economy and a wonderful university that I call my alma mater. Go Bobcats. Occupy anniversary. This is from the Huffington Post. Can the movement regain momentum? In Zuccotti Park, the birthplace of the Occupy Wall Street movement, hundreds of people gathered today to celebrate the movement's one-year anniversary and try to recapture some of its lost energy. Many of the sights and sounds were familiar from the other Occupy protests. The protesters shouted familiar slogans and wore the familiar array of Occupy stickers and buttons. Earlier today, their attempt to block access to the New York Stock Exchange ended with more than 146 arrests. It's a lot. A familiar result for a group of activists who have been known to confront police and accuse them of brutal and illegal acts of repression. Yes, only accuse them. No repression actually going on. Of course, this is some sign of the time news. This is a sign of the times. This is from myfoxdc.com. Authorities, man denied food stamps gets rifle out. AP, Associated Press. Authorities say Louisiana man who got a loaded AR-15 assault rifle from his pickup truck after being turned down for disaster food stamps has been jailed. Louisiana State Police say a claims processor in LaPlace told officers a man became irate after being denied aid Tuesday evening after recent Hurricane Isaac. They say officers providing security at the location saw the man go to his vehicle, and troopers, sheriff deputies, and National Guard troops surrounded and disarmed him. Trooper Melissa Mady says investigators also found a handgun and several loaded ammunition magazines. She says 46-year-old Mark Knight of LaPlace was booked on charges of terrorizing and aggravated assault. Bond was set at $20,000. I'm sure he can afford that. Knight remained jailed Thursday. A message with the public defender's office was not immediately returned. Well, that segues nicely with some other news, and of course note the irony in this story, and that the man can afford a $700 to $1,000 rifle, yet he's getting food stamps, getting denied for food stamps. This ties in with a quick story we're going to chat about, and after this story we'll be going to the Dafoe piece on the UT bomb scare, in-depth journalism going on here on the Rise Up Radio Show. We thank Clay for the hard work that he's done. We got some interviews that he's picked up on that particular issue, but real quick parlaying with our buddy there that brought the AR-15 because he got denied aid. That's from CNN. Romney doesn't back away from message caught on secret tape. Mitt Romney on Tuesday didn't back away from remarks he made in a secretly recorded video casting supporters of President Barack Obama as dependent on welfare, and instead said the comments that generated more problems for him in a tight race were an honest reflection of his campaign's message. This is a message I'm carrying day in and day out and will carry over the coming months, Romney said on Fox News. This is a decision about the course of America, where we're going to head. We've seen the president's policies play out over the last 4 years, so let's go ahead and, of course, this is blasted all over the media, something that's completely insignificant, but, you know, Romney may have had a little bit of a point there. I don't agree with Mittens Romney often, nor do I agree with Barry Soetoro, aka Barry Obama, aka Barack Obama, aka dreams of my real father. There are 40% of the people who, this is Mitt Romney, this is what he said that has caused a massive controversy. There are 40% of the people who will vote for the president no matter what, Romney says in one clip. First posted on Monday afternoon. This is a secret clip recorded at a fundraiser. There are 47% who are with him, who are dependent on government, who believe that they are victims, who believe that the government has the responsibility to care for them, who believe that they are entitled to health care, to food, to housing. And, you know, it's probably a general rule of thumb that those who are dependent on government, both through entitlement programs like welfare, Medicaid, and Social Security, especially the welfare and the food stamp programs. Additionally, those who are dependent on government because they make their career from government, these individuals are, yes, likely to vote for a candidate that will maintain the status quo of keeping the money flowing, keeping the food stamps going, keeping the Medicare going, keeping the Social Security going, and also keeping the jobs going and keeping the pensions filled. They are likely to vote for the big government candidates, but thankfully for that 47%, Mitt Romney and Barack Obama will keep the status quo going as usual. So, of course, the message that Romney tries to push is he doesn't want a society where people are dependent on government, where big government is the centerpiece for our society, yet he pushes big government policies and pushed for the essentially Obamacare in his home state. So sorry, Mittens Romney, the inconsistency will not do. If you really are to think there's a problem for people to be dependent on government, why didn't you cut programs while you were in office? That remains to be seen. All right, let's back it up again and bring back some local news here for those of you